It's not often that I get to say that I'm island hopping, but today, that's exactly what we did. We rode on a little ferry from the southernmost island of Goto, the 5 islands, which is way more than that, but the southern island, which was Fukue, and now we're going up to Nakadori Jima, and that's where we've landed today. And behind me you can see, this is Nakadori Jima, including Waka...
Ooh, I don't know the name of that one.
Oh crap, doesn't matter.
Wakamatsu, maybe?
Maybe Wakamatsu? Do you know? Yeah, Matsu?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so Wakamatsu Island. Wakamatsu's much, much smaller than Nakadori, but there's a bridge that connects the two, so it's a great stop to hit 2 of those 5 islands. It looks like we'll only be hitting a total of 3 of the islands, but that's more than half of the listed numbered islands, which is a lie. Today we've come in from down here. This says Fukue Ferry, and it's coming up into here, Narao Port, and we are going to eat some lunch and grab a rental car. And my plan is to hit this little bit, and then to go over here to this little bit, Wakamatsu, and have some fun with that today. We're gonna stay on the southern side of the island, and then tomorrow we'll be going to the northern side of the island, which I'm so excited to go all the way up there. You have to go all the way up there. Are you up there?
Not yet.
Not yet. We will be soon. I've made a gamble, and that gamble is based on lunch. I read about this island, and a person said that they got to the island and they had to wait an hour for a bus. Buses don't come very often here. It's just not that populated, or I don't know, but buses aren't coming too often. He said, I went to the only restaurant near the port. I looked up on Google, trying to find like, where would the restaurants be? And I found the one restaurant. I have gambled on us being able to go to the one restaurant on New Year's Eve. We'll see if that happens.
What's the backup plan here?
Backup plan. Chips. Smells fishy. My gamble was a bad gamble. These wild boar definitely mean that the shop is closed for the new year. That's alright, we've got chips. But the hospitality of the island is already showing, because 2 people have asked us, hey, what's up with you? One group came over and asked us if we needed a ride somewhere, and another guy just saw us standing in front of the restaurant and he said some stuff from his car, but we're good. Like, we're just walking to the rental car, which is down the street, and this restaurant not being open, I don't think we'll die. I mean, this will help us survive, right? Vitz number 2. That's our little guy that's going to take us around these 2 islands that we're playing on. But let's be serious. Let's determine how much food we've got, because we don't know where we're going to find food. We drove down the road of the rest of that town, and there are no restaurants. We do see that there's a supermarket on the map, but we couldn't find it. Maybe we'll go back and look for that a little bit harder. But right now we have a bag of chips, a protein bar, and an apple.
I have a soda.
And he has a soda. I'm shocked he let us know about that. He's gonna hoard that to himself. Man, that's a bit worrisome. But what they told us at the rental car is that all of the gas stations are closed. We should turn the car off, man. We are wasting precious fuel right now. She said that once we get to our end point, they will just charge us for whatever gas we've used. But what if you need gas before that point? Huh. And we were wondering, are we confused? No. This is evidence for you. The gas stations are closed.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. The supermarket is open. I have decided to get the New Year's maki. Essentially, this is going to be a sushi burrito. But I don't really think there's sushi inside. Well, I don't know how to say that, what I'm trying to say. I think there's umeboshi, egg, brown guy, and cucumber. Essentially what some people might think is like a California type-esque roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No fish or no anything
With
like
no
that.
fish, like it doesn't, this was a better side to show you.
How are you gonna eat that?
With my face.
You eat it like a burrito straight up? We don't have any way of cutting this.
Yep, this is how I'm eating it. That's how you eat onigiri.
Fair enough. They had a little area where they had like the osechi and stuff that people are going to be buying for New Year's Day to eat and with other families, and it's like these big boxes full of a lot of different like ingredients and stuff. And I was like, maybe we should get one of these things. And there was one that was like kind of affordable, but it was like so much food. We were just like, it might end up, some of it might go bad because we don't exactly have a place to store it and enough people to eat it. And then there was one lone bento. And I got the one lone bento. And it's just like a normal, like super Japanese-y kind of bento with a whole bunch of different things on it. And at a glance, I don't even know what's on it. And the label just said bento. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just get this. And I'm going to jump into something that I probably maybe won't like. I'm just going to try this guy. I don't know what it is. It's like deep fried stuff sort of or something. Tofu looking. With beans in it. No, it's pretty good.
My guess would be that that is a tofu kind of burger.
That was pretty tasty. I thought I wasn't going to like it. I always look at things like this and I was like, nah, I don't know, that's not good, but then it ends up being good. That's the situation I found myself in. That's a good situation.
We've gone to the southernmost point that will allow Vitz to go. Past this point, Vitz will not survive. There are no roads, there are no boats for him, so we are stuck on this part of the island as well. There's a little bit more land past us, but I'm okay with getting to just the southern part of the road. We actually couldn't go any farther down the road here because it's covered in glass, so somebody's really trying to keep Vitz out. We're about to cross this little bridge to go over to another little island.
We come over a couple of bridges and we are now on another teeny tiny little island called Hinoshima.
We have hopped like 4 times.
We have been on a lot of islands today,
Yeah.
like legit.
And it's only like islands that have 2 roads. And then you go to another island.
Yeah.
So it's
There's,
not like...
and there's not much going on. There's like little fishing villages and nothing else. I was surprised because
Somebody's
it looked
getting
like...
a delivery.
Yeah, somebody's driving by with a delivery truck right now, like UPS style or whatever.
Yep.
I was surprised to see that one of these little islands had a post office. So let's put it that way. That's about the size of the things we've been seeing. The post office was an event. And we all of a sudden popped over a bridge onto the last island in the chain that we're going to be driving across right now, right? I think so.
We'll hit other islands, but this is in this direction.
This direction?
Yes.
It's called
Then we'll make a U-turn back.
Hinoshima, and it's like the island of the sun. And of note, as soon as you come across the bridge, you see this really bizarre setup of what seems to be a graveyard. But we can't really find any information that is telling us exactly what it is. And I would say that it would be just like those rocks that they stack up, or sometimes,
Don't
you know?
touch those rocks.
Yeah, except for the fact that there's also, like what's right next to us is a modern gravestone. But mixed in with these modern gravestone, there is just a ton of super, super old looking headstones
Like
for
headstones,
graves
yeah.
that have writing on them, but it's so old that you can't read it anymore. It's just all worn away from the weather. And like the gravestones are all misshapen and everything in a way that makes it just seem like more ancient than I can recall ever seeing anything in Japan. Like Japan, of course, has had people living here for a really long time, but the types of structures that they used to build way back in the day didn't last the way that like brick structures or whatever would last from Europe. So you don't see things that are like ancient in Japan very often. So this really sticks out as something that I can't recall having seen something that looks like this. But we don't know the story. We don't know the background of this at all. We don't really even know what it is. And I looked it up online and there's like reviews of it written in Japanese on like TripAdvisor or whatever. And the Japanese people that have seen it were just like, yeah, that was weird. I don't know what that is. I think that's what they wrote. So I don't have any chance of figuring this out. But it is an interesting find for sure in a very, very, very remote place.
Mysterious.
It is mysterious. Misterioso.
All right, it's time for fika.
And we're doing something a little bit special today. We're trying something new. And
trying something. We found some shit at the stove.
And it is milk tea cakes. And we also have a milk tea.
Holy crap.
Of note, this milk tea is in a can. And that might not seem too strange, but it's not something you see very often, usually in a plastic bottle.
Hold on. This milk tea is in a cookie. Smell this. Holy shit.
It's really strong milk tea smell.
Whew.
So I'm gonna crank open this milk tea. It seemed like it was carbonated. That seems strange. Like, why did air escape? Tea is not supposed to be carbonated, y'all. All right, so what should we do first? Should we try the tea first, or should we try that first?
I'm gonna try the tea first.
But then you're gonna have this in your flavor.
Oh yeah.
So I think you go with that first. So I'm gonna put this on the dashboard, and I'm gonna open up mine. And hold on, you didn't bite in, did you?
I didn't do anything.
What are we doing this? I know what we're doing this to. To Mr. T.
Mr. T. How pitiful. Remember those oatmeal? They were like oatmeal on the outside and then cream on the inside.
Yeah.
It's got that texture.
Does it taste like milk tea? Kind of, yeah.
Little bit.
A little bit.
The smell is overwhelming.
Yeah.
The flavor, once you bite into it, is slightly there. But where there isn't flavor, it tastes like nothing.
Yeah. They're okay. Maybe you're supposed to have it with milk tea.
God, thank God we've got 6 of them. They're okay.
Well, to be fair, this is all we got for dinner now, since we think everything's going to be closed.
Hold on, let me put mine back in the bag so we don't starve later.
Rationing. To be fair, milk tea is a little bit watery in a way, like when it comes in this type of can. So I think it's actually a fair representation. It's not like milk tea is an explosive flavor, so I think it actually kind of works out a little bit. I do like milk tea. I'm not trying to talk some smack. I'm a big fan. I noticed you didn't finish yours.
Yeah, I like to eat and drive.
Fair enough.
You gotta take your time, enjoy it.
Just found out the population of the island we're on. 48.
It says the population is falling drastically.
It does. Hold on, stop here. I want to show the bus stop. I'm gonna get out for this one. You gotta get a good shot. Establish this. Watch out, the post guy might come through.
Oh yeah.
The UPS did. All right, so we got 48 people here. This is the bus stop, y'all. I have updated the Wikipedia temporarily to set the population to 50, but as soon as we go back across the island, we're gonna have to flip it back.
Yep. So apparently Wakamatsu and Nakadori are supposed to have more churches than Fukue Island had. And we've hit our first church here. I just want to talk to you about the security system. Hard to crack this one. Hard to crack. Gotta just slide this off and you are in the church. It's like baby proof. Did they think that the baby was gonna get up the mountain and be like, trying to get in? Give me that Drano. I know it's in there.
Drano?
That's why people at their houses, they put the baby locks on under the sink because the Drano's in there.
Why do babies like Drano so much?
Babies are idiots. Drano. The sun is starting to go down on our first day here in Nakadori. Yeah, I'm just gonna mix the names up.
Wakahinodori.
Wakahinodori.
Jima.
Jima. And now we're just kind of going down a road that we both deemed, yeah, we'll just go down there. And it turned out it's a very, very, very small road, and it is the road with the most moss. This road has been asleep for years.
Yeah, I'm not sure that very many people are coming down here.
No, except for this van. We found a van just randomly parked on the side of the road.
That's the thing though, like you'll find just like a car on the side of a road in the middle of nowhere in Japan and there's nobody around. You're like, why is it here? Like it doesn't make any sense. It's not broken down, it's just a van.
No parking spots in front of their house. They're just like, okay, well, we'll take it to the parking lot. Yeah, it's over on Moss Road.
Like 40 kilometers out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Bit of an exciting moment. Unfortunately, we didn't catch on camera. We're driving down this curvy road and it's getting kind of dark. We saw this big thing like basically jump off a cliff like in front of us. And we both saw just enough to recognize that it was an inoshishi, which is like a wild boar. It was pretty big. Like it was not like a potbelly pig, like a little. Like it was like this is a pig. There's a hog for real. And that's the first time I've ever seen a wild one before. So now we're like really keeping our peepers peeled to see if we see any more of them, because I'd really love to get one on camera and get a better look. But the way that one acted was pretty skittish. I don't think that we're gonna sneak up on any of these things in a car. I've read like so many signs lately that say that you should not do that. What, sneak up on them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna get out and try to ride him or nothing. I just want to get a good look at him, maybe get a picture, you know what I'm saying?
You gonna have an autograph too?
If I can get an autograph, that'd be fine. Get his honko.
Yeah.
Of special note, we just realized that next year, as in, fucking Migi Hoko's this.
How am I supposed to Migi that? This bitch crazy. What?
In Inoshishi related news, it's New Year's Eve right now, and next year is the year of the Inoshishi and the Chinese zodiac. So he was doing some preparations, I think, is what was going on.
Yeah.
He's getting ready for his birthday or whatever.
Birthday.
And we just saw a deer, which is cool, but not nearly as noteworthy as Inoshishi.
Yeah. Woo. Christmas in America is fun because you get in the car and you ride around with your family and you go and you see all the Christmas lights that people have put up in their yards, and you just kind of rate them like, oh, that was the best one, oh, new favorite, so happy. It doesn't happen so much in Japan, but churches are going all out, and you will see like a few people who just kind of go crazy with it. But one thing that we have kind of decided is what's happening with Christmas lights in Japan is that people are making do with whatever they find. If they go crazy, they go crazy with a barrage of lights, and none of it is orchestrated in a way that makes any sense. And this is very much a good example of that. It's just, somebody found all these things in the attics of homes and then just was like, yeah, take it over to the church, just give it to the church. They'll put it up, and they will.
New favorite. This cow's got some funky dreams, y'all.
I just found something funky too.
What'd you find?
Salmon, bacon.
No, dude, smoke.
Oh, smoke. Well, smoked bacon. It's very American.
It is.
Maple sauce.
Is that soup?
It's soup.
Are you gonna get it?
No.
Come on.
I'm not interested. Like, this is not the flavor I'm searching out right now, but yeah. Salmon would have been more of a, but yeah, I'm good at reading.
Yeah. Y'all seen that top hat on that dolphin? That's the logo to the hotel we're staying in. It's pretty baller.
I'd say the logo is baller. Everything else is par.
About the hotel?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a business hotel.
Just a business hotel.
It's nothing special.
The drain's good.
Oh,
in
for the shower? Yeah.
The thing that I've noticed with business hotels is the bathroom tends to be slightly annoying in the fact that sometimes the drain doesn't allow the tub to drain as quickly as the water goes in.
Because the water pressure in business hotels always seems to just tear your skin off.
Blowing you out of the thing. But the water pressure is still fairly good. I liked that shower. And the other thing is the sucking the steam out of the shower.
Yeah.
It's
This
not
one
that
was
great.
okay.
This one's okay.
It was okay.
It's not terrible.
It didn't rain in here from your shower, which is that's a good thing.
That's the sign that the shower is okay.
So we're in this classy place with this classy dolphin and his classy top hat, and it is New Year's Eve, so I figured we would do some celebrating. So what we did is we've been hauling a bottle of wine around for a few days because we always buy wine and then never drink it. Like, I don't know what the deal with this is.
The story with this one was that we bought it for the boat that we got on, and then that boat was extremely crowded.
We just didn't have a place to chill.
It was very awkward to like pop open a bottle and like get your relax on.
Yeah. So anyway, we've been hauling them with, and we bought it at a convenience store, so it's the classy stuff. And we tend to pick wine based on the animal on the wine, and this one has an alpaca, and I was like, we should get that alpaca. And that's pretty much how we chose it. We don't really know what we're doing.
500 yen.
Yeah, it was also 500 yen. So here, you can hold a glass, and then I will pop this open. And I don't know, is it 9 p.m. or so that we're celebrating the New Year?
9:45.
Oh, it's later than I thought. All right, so would you like a full glass, half glass? What are we working with here?
I'm letting you lead the way.
All right, we'll do about that. Because like, when you drink wine, it's got to be like a half glass thing. That's how you keep the hold on a second. You're going to have to hold the other one. We're just sitting on a bed. So that'll be mine. And this one will be yours. If you fill it full, then it's like not classy. You know what I mean? Wine people, no matter what the size the glass is, it's got to be half size glass. So we're keeping it snooty
Restaurant wine, it's got to be less than half.
Oh yeah, that's just because they're stingy.
Yeah, it's because it's a fucking restaurant. I do not like ordering wine in a restaurant.
All right, so we got an alpaca, and what are we going to do this to the year of the Inoshishi?
Yes, the year of the Inoshishi. May we see many tomorrow.
I hope we see like a whole herd. Straight from the alpaca, baby. It's all right.
Yeah, alpaca juice is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's wine.
I realized, like, over the last couple of days, we have described so many things as juice. It makes no sense how many things we have just put in the juice category.
Speaking of juice, I got some maple juice right here. This is my this is the maple sauce packet that I have for
your salmon bacon.
No, my what was it called? What did they call it? They called it smoked bacon ramen noodles that I have cooked here. And it is the big one, so I doubt I'm going to finish the whole thing because I have actually already had dinner. And it is notable because it has an American flag on it, and it says American favorite taste. And has anybody in America ever had a smoked bacon noodles? Probably not. That's going to be my guess. Because like when I was a kid, we ate these ramen noodle jams all the time, but it wasn't no smoked bacon. It was like the chicken. You know?
I'm kind of surprised at what's in the inside of this. Like it's got like egg and onion and little pieces of ham. It's got your standard ramen bits, but now it's saying it's smoked bacon flavor. Like, why wouldn't we just baconize the inside of this? Like, the scrambled eggs would be totally fine, but everything else needs to be different. I don't understand why. Just leave it. You can do B-roll of that, and it would be okay.
Yeah, I need B-roll of that, but I got to do it before I eat it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. We're gonna spin around the camera. How else am I gonna get it? If I eat it, then how do I'm gonna throw it back up and B-roll it. Come on now. All right, so right now you're looking at the B-roll that I had to roll there, and it's a little awkward. I had to edit that a little strange, but we're good to go now. And now I've got the most important part, as far as I'm concerned. It literally says maple sauce on this packet. I am not sure if I'm just supposed to put this in earlier or do it now, but it's got a Canadian flag on it, and I'm excited about the maple sauce that I'm about to put into my soup. I want to wheeze just a little bit out of the packet just to see. It's salty. Oh, it's really, really gross. Here, you gotta have some. Just take a little bit. Don't take too much. I don't want to. There you go. It's leaking down the side.
I'm okay with the salt.
It's salty bacon.
Because what it reminds me of is when the sausage patty and the maple syrup mix together. That's sweet and savory.
I mean, I guess, but why is it going in the soup? Like,
This is a new bacon soup situation.
All right, of course. All right, so it's a good thing we got that alpaca juice because I might need it after this. This is a lot of noodles, man.
It is the big one.
It is. They didn't have a smaller one. I had to go with the big one.
Yep.
You know how much this cost?
Maybe like 200 to 300 yen, but probably more in the 200 range.
It was 200 yen. Oh, you're good at that. You can do pricing for these folks. All right, so we are going to jump in here. Do you want the first bite or should I take the first bite?
This is all you.
You don't want any? You don't want to taste
I'm going to try it, but okay. I'm letting you...
It's pretty warm.
...master this.
Yo, it tastes like bacon.
Let me see.
It tastes just... There needs to be more maple sauce. I'm thinking that maple sauce is a gimmick, y'all. Like, I don't think that there's anything going on with that maple sauce. It's
I'm
like,
just going to wheeze the juice.
Okay, just wheeze the juice. That's really... I mean, the noodles don't taste like anything. It is noodles, you know? Now, can I ask you a question? Would you define that as American favorite taste?
I wouldn't define it as American favorite taste. I wouldn't even define it as bacon.
Really?
It tastes like tonkatsu to me.
No, it tastes some bacon. That egg is pretty damn good.
I told you, the egg can stay.
Yeah, the egg is... That's a pretty damn good egg. I mean...
That egg is usually the reason that I get cup noodle. I actually get cup noodle for the toppings.
Honestly,
that's why we sat in the cup noodle area for like 15 minutes while I figured out which toppings I wanted. I'm like, Eric, what's this?
It takes quite a while when you're reading smoked as salmon, too.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm there for a while.
All right, so this is my delicious New Year's treat.
It's not a good one.
I didn't eat the whole soup, but now, afterwards, like when I sniff, it's like there's syrup in my brain. Like I can sense all that's going on, this essence of maple sauce. No, juice. This is like, it smells like it's been poured on the floor or something, but it's just like, woo, stuck in my head.
I don't think that woo is coming from the maple.
Morning.
Hold on. Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu.
It is New Year's morning.
And that meant Happy New Year.
And
yeah.
We have done the Japanese thing and we are going to come watch the sunrise.
Well, that's the only thing we really can do because we're on an island in the middle of nowhere, so there's no sort of countdown that's going to happen or like gathering of some sort.
I was asleep at like 11 o'clock last night, 10:30, something like that.
And like we could go to a shrine, but I feel like an imposter in that. I feel like I shouldn't be here. This isn't my thing.
It's like a private thing, you know.
And not private. I wouldn't mind watching it from afar, but I feel like it's not something I should be engaging in.
Sure.
And so this is option 3, which is wake up and see the sunrise. And that really does seem like, you know, you're saying hello to the new year. And yes. I like that a lot.
I don't know how good the sunrise is going to be. It's looking a bit on the cloudy side. But we will do what we can with his just sit here.
I think a bit is a gentle way to explain these swelling clouds that are just filling the sky.
The good news is that I brought some breakfast, and for anybody that is seasoned to our videos, they're going to know how much I enjoy the calorie mate.
Actually, you know, I got the slow bar for the slow bot.
Oh, you did?
And if
you have
you
a slow bar.
That, yeah, you could have that.
I could have that. And you want the what is the flavor of this? Fruit flavor? You also got some bread.
I got the bread.
We're good to go.
And I got that slow bar for the slow bot.
You trying to find the slow bar? Boom. Is it actually?
It really does say slow bar. I don't necessarily like if you have like an energy bar or a protein bar, the last thing you want it to do is make you slow. Why does it say slow? It says yukuri, so it's slow is intended. Sudo.
Maybe it's like slow like digestion or something.
Like maybe it keeps your stomach full longer.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
don't know. Let's get to the sunset. Or wait, sunrise.
Yeah. That was the best sunrise I've seen. You
said this might be one of the worst I've ever woken up for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the clouds were spectacular, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But the sun itself didn't present very much activity.
You know what, I'd almost just say the clouds were active.
Yeah.
They did things.
But we had a nice view, and we're up really early, and we're moving, so
Yeah.
like, how bad could it be?
But we've only got 1 tank of gas.
Yeah, that's true. And we didn't really think this out too much, but like when she told us there were no gas stations on the island, that means we kind of got a ration like where we're going to a certain degree, because we can't just go fill up someplace. So
you know what's weird about that? I would think that they would. Can you get past
it's
me?
narrow here, by the way.
We're good. You would think that they would have offered to put a tank, like a tank of gas,
like with us or something.
in the back seat. But what's interesting about that is we would just be sitting here huffing gas because
there's no exterior.
There's no exterior.
Yeah, so there's no way
maybe
to have
that's
done
why
that.
they didn't, because we would have.
And I mean, it only happens for like one little time of year, so they probably wouldn't have that type of like tank or whatever. I mean, I understand that, but yeah, I mean, like, what happens if we just don't have enough fuel?
I'd leave the car, we walk, I tell them where the car is, and just
Good luck 'em.
yeah, because I assume that they can do the tank of gas situation.
So we are now headed up this narrow little road to the northern bit of this island, and it's pretty cool because it's like a fairly narrow little, I don't know, I guess you'd call it a peninsula or like a spit into the sea.
I feel a spit is a good idea.
Feels good.
Yeah.
And it's mountainous, and we've got these like nice little curvy roads and stuff that we're cruising along, and I'm not sure what we're gonna find at the tip, but I can guarantee it's not gonna be fuel.
Yeah, that's true.
We made it to the northernmost bit.
And above the northernmost bit is even more northern bit.
And we've come there.
Off the GPS.
And there's a lighthouse that's up here that we're gonna like see if we can find. And we're climbing up this really cool looking little path that's got those, those trees that canopy over the path. And Katie had noticed that there are what seems to be pathways.
Well, I had to go pee. There's really no bathrooms up here. So it's a pullover situation. And I walked away from the car, and through the woods you could see like direct lines through the foliage that were the size of wild boars. I went close to the car.
He's like, you don't want to.
I don't want to be pants down and have a boar. I don't want to find out what's going to happen in that situation.
You do not need angry snout up in your face when you're trying to like do your thing.
We made it to the lighthouse, and it's actually pretty pristine. Extremely white, looks like a little chapel. And the distance, you can see all these islands just spotted on the water. One of them looks like a battleship, which reminds me of Gunkanjima. And they actually have this amazing map up here of Nakadori, Jima, and Wakamatsu. So Wakamatsu is where we hung out yesterday. And today, we came up to here yesterday, stayed the night. And now this morning, we came all the way up here. We are sitting right here now. It looks like a middle finger.
It does look a bit longer, yes. Of note, look at all of the churches.
Bing, 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 bing.
All of those crosses indicate that there's a church sitting underneath of it, which is pretty impressive because the island is not tiny, but it's also not huge. It takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours to drive like end to end. So this probably has got more churches at least per square kilometer than like even someplace like Tokyo does, even if you accounted for all of the chapels that aren't actually churches but are just places where people go get married so that it looks like they got married in the church. And the churches here seem to be like legitimate churches. We can't tell if they're still functioning as churches or if the community here is Christian or not. Like, we haven't put that part together quite yet. But I mean, at some point there certainly was like Christianity here, and these things weren't built like last year. Like, they've been around for a while. I'm really surprised. I've never seen this like much religion in that sense, like Christianity in Japan, all like tucked into a really remote little island. It's very surprising. Katie, watch out for Inoshishi-san.
They're everywhere.
Katie,
But nowhere.
do you think we can get up there?
I doubt that door. No, I can see the lock.
But could you do a pull-up?
No. I have not been in training.
For anybody curious, Katie could not get up on the lighthouse.
I didn't even try, but watching you try was pretty good.
Gotta hold up my manly demeanor. It's just after 9 a.m. now, and we're driving through a little town, and there is a little church.
We were driving from the north, and all these cars started passing us, and it was just like, why are there so many cars?
Like, why is there traffic all of a sudden?
Up to nowhere.
And you notice it because the road is so narrow that you have to basically like squeeze by each other. So like it's very noticeable that all of a sudden there's this influx of vehicles, and we were just like, why is there all of a sudden commuter traffic on New Year's Day at 9 a.m.? And it's like, it's a Tuesday or something? Yeah, it's a Tuesday this year. So as we came around the corner, we realized that there's a little church up here on the hill, and it's like a brick church, like a modern, normal style church. And there's quite a few people that are dressed quite nicely coming out of it. So they had some sort of activity going on there that it really leads me to believe that these people are actually like active church members.
Could be, yeah.
They could be doing it just as like a community thing or something, I'm sure, but the fact that it's happening at a church and not a community center or not at a shrine or something like that really like leads me to believe that maybe there's an active Christian community on these islands.
I can see a couple of nuns outside the door.
Yes, there are a couple of nuns there as well. So I mean, well, they're definitely in the game. But yeah, I mean, and it feels a little awkward to just, I don't really want to roll down a window and be like, yo, you Christian? Like that just seems like a really weird question, you know? So like we've also realized that we're probably like the only white people on this island. Like if there are any other people that are of our ethnic background, we have not seen them. So it would probably spook somebody if I rolled down the window and asked them such a question.
Yeah. We didn't know whether to count this building as church number 12 or not, but it turns out it's actually a bus stop. And it is decorated with pipe organs, and there's stained glass on the inside. It is one of the most themed bus stops I've seen, and appropriately and well done. It was very cool to spot out of the corner of our eye and just pull over and come and check it out.
It's quite a step up from the bus stop that we saw yesterday that just had a dead bicycle inside.
Ah, yeah. Well, this one's filled with cancer because you can smoke inside there. Ew. So if you want to go from this little church bus stop to the lighthouse that we were at earlier today, there are 5 buses. That's it. There's 5 buses to go over there. And say you come to hang out with your friend here in this part of town, you need to call the party quits before 6:52 to come and get last bus home. The party better be raging by about 4 p.m. So we're staying in a budget hotel, and the budget hotel has a restaurant, and the restaurant is open from 8 to 9 a.m. and then it's also open from 6 to 8:30. So this hotel's restaurant is functioning for 3 hours during the day. I kind of feel bad for that staff. Like, that staff's dealing with those hours. They have to prepare things, so I think they're there for longer, but that got me thinking, if our hotel's open, then maybe other hotels are open. And in our guidebook, there was a hotel that is serving up Goto beef curry pan. So inside is Goto is beef from Goto. I don't know if it's this island or another island. I wonder if one of the islands is just inhabited by cows. That's it. And then they put that in curry, and then they put that in bread. That's a lot of things inside of a lot of things. And it was at a hotel, like at a resort, which is much nicer than our budget hotel. So we went in there. I spent some time relaxing. I spent $10 there. I felt like I should sit in the lobby for a little while, feel the life. And now I get to eat their food. It smells like a Hot Pocket. Taste is very good. Just amazing curry flavor. The meat keeps moving.
Do you need some chopsticks?
It's right there. I can see it.
This is making me feel funny.
Good flavor of beef. It's a good pan and overall.
Is it?
I probably got it on my face now.
Is the beef soft or like a stew?
It's more like I wouldn't say stewed to where it's breaking apart, but it does have like where you can pull it off into little pieces. It's not shredded. It's kind of in a giant clump, which is a bit disappointing considering like I want my beef to be spread out amongst my pan. I don't want like I'm gonna take this one bite of beef and then the rest is just, you know what I'm saying? Like shredded. They did not shred it.
It's not distributed properly.
Do posh people just like the brick?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm not posh. I got something from the same resort that normally I wouldn't talk about because it's not that exciting. It's just shiopan, which is salty bread. And it is something that's served in like every bakery ever. But in this case, there's two things that are noteworthy. First off, it looks quite different than what you would expect usually from this to look like because it's got this little bit that dangles here. I don't know why. It's got like, it's got a handle. It's like a GameCube.
It's a door knocker.
It's a door knocker. And the other thing that's cool about it is I guess this island is known for its salt. And there's like a salt museum or factory or something on the island that is closed because of the holidays. So I don't think we're going to get to explore it. But this has got the salt from the island on it. So I thought this would be a good way to try it. It is kind of wet. I really feel weird touching this with my hands without having it in the wrapper. But I got no salt in that bite that is detectable. I see a little bit on the top. It's kind of like the gourmet version of the stuff that they have at all the normal bakeries, like the way that the texture is and stuff. It's like higher quality, but this is one of those pieces of bread that you kind of just want the ghetto one. So I'm not sure if this is really doing anything for me. Like, you know, there's just certain food objects out there. I'm going to try to grab the top because it looks like it had some salt on it. There's just certain food objects out there that are just like, you want the one that's like the off-brand, you know? And this feels like it's like, pip, pip, like, oh, I'm uppity up. Oh, it's good salt. It tastes like salt. Does salt have different variations of like goodness? I don't even really know, to be completely honest. But it's fun to try the salt that's from the island. It's all right. I think the most fun part is the handle.
These things over here, these clothes racks, they look like they're hanging some random condoms. I was like, what? Then you come over and the color to me seems like it looks like Ika, squid, but the texture of it doesn't look like squid.
It's like bacon.
Or like cuts that someone would do for drying squid, but I'm not a squid master. It looks slightly plant-based, but I still don't know what it is. But I'm happy it's not my original thought. Suddenly we're in a tour group. It felt like the whole island had been vacated. We haven't seen people. I mean, like, we've seen people walking around doing random things, but we came to see a church and we knew there was a shuttle bus involved, but we didn't understand what that necessarily meant. But we've come to like this defunct airport that doesn't get used anymore. They have you park and there's a shuttle bus waiting for you. On top of that, a tour bus came. So now we are part of a tour group that are going to a church that I think is like a 20-minute ride away in this bus, and then we get to go into this church. I'm not surprised it's a church, but I am surprised that all of a sudden, lots of tourism, and all of a sudden we're on a different mode of transportation, and all of a sudden this is free. Why is this free? Why are we sitting on a bus and this is free? Like, we're gonna go to the church and you get in for free. I would pay for this situation, I think. I don't know how I got here.
That little bus ride was only like 4 minutes or something. It took us down by this little cove. And of note, we saw another inoshishi. So there's another wild boar on the road, and nobody else saw it.
It was black.
Yeah, it was, nobody else saw this pig. And he was just like standing on the road, like down below a little bit.
Yeah.
Just being a pig.
How did nobody else see him? He was there.
And that is the first pig of
the year before
the
2020 Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games.
That's what we're calling this year, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they're crazy about calling everything.
Because nobody has cared about like the last 3 years, because everybody's just talking about what they're doing
for the 2020 Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games. We got to get this down so it's like just popping.
Yeah. This is the least significant year.
It's just the fluffer.
Yep.
It's just another one of the many churches. And at this point, I'm like not really impressed with the churches anymore. I'm more like, oh my God, look, there's a shrine. There's a temple. Wow, that's really out of the ordinary on this island.
We used to get temple fatigue.
Yeah.
This is a bit of church fatigue. I'm actually still kind of like, whoa.
It is neat.
Yeah.
I'm just talking some turkey.
Because you see the cross above the skyline and stuff with other like temples, unless they're on a hill, you don't really see them like prominent like that.
It's interesting to see the cross popping up over these Japanese houses and things like that in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
This particular church was built in the mid 1800s and looks very much like a church would look from that time period. It's just made of bricks and with those shapes and that type of stuff. And we met an old man that works inside.
Yeah, and we bought some postcards for the postcard club, and inside there came a stamp rally that apparently you can go to all the churches and get a stamp. So
I wish we had known this when we first got here.
I wish we had known this when we had first got here, but we got our first stamp at the last church we visited. Number 15.
It's like a super, super like Japanese twist on a very Western thing, a stamp rally. Where's the bus at?
I'm gonna try to get another stamp.
Do you know where the bus at?
I thought it was here. Yeah. we'll get out of here somehow. Or this stamp will be the last stamp we ever get.
So the little island that we are on that holds the church that we just went in and did the stamp rally is called Kagoshima. And it is a pretty small island that is connected by a pretty magnificent red bridge to the other larger island that we've been on for the last day or so. And it is distinct because it is sort of the center of the Christian buildup on the Goto island chain. And the reason for that is because this island had been uninhabited for a long, long time, forever basically, until the Edo time period in Japan, where it became a sanatorium? What's the right? How do you say this? Sanatorium for ill people, which is like where they send grandma if she's sick to die so she doesn't spread disease, basically is what it was being used for. Like just, go to this uninhabited island and don't make anybody else sick. And during that time period, the Christianity in the region was being persecuted, and it was a little bit difficult for people to practice in the open. So because this island was this place where people were, but nobody wanted to go to, some of the Christians in the region from Nagasaki mainland came here and started establishing like Christianity in this area, and it started to blossom out of that. And in the late 1800s, there was a heavy set of persecution that happened, and all of them were arrested. And I'm not sure what happened to them when they were arrested, but I don't really think good things would have happened. And some time passed, and the persecution was lifted, and Christianity that had been outlawed was no longer outlawed. So it was made legal to practice. So they started to do more build-up of building a real church in the early 1900s and stuff, and that's what we went down there and saw. And out of that particular situation is what blossomed the rest of the church structures that were all around here. And they've got inside, this is so strange, we're inside of an old airport right now where you got on the bus to go to the church. And there is a lot of information here with pictures of like old time, like, what was going on here on this island back in the day. And there's a list of all of the churches that are in the area that are actually also the same churches that are on our stamp rally. So you can get kind of a better grasp of how significant the religion is to this set of islands. We keep going over it like this. It's just so fascinating to see this in Japan. If you haven't been to Japan, other parts of Japan, I don't think it would hit you quite as hard that there just aren't these types of structures. There's not a heavy Christian influence here. So to see it here at all after having been in Japan for so long, it really does sort of just like hit you kind of hard. You're like, whoa, this is like legit. It's real.
As a person who frequently fikas, having snacks every day, to go into a convenience store and find something that you've never, ever, ever, ever seen, not even like a version of anywhere else, is exciting. And I found this little wiggly, I just want to smack it against things, this little packet. Inside this packet is a crap ton of powdered sugar. All the white that you're seeing is powdered sugar.
Or cocaine, I mean.
And you can just knock it off. Like, it doesn't attach to the thing that's inside. Hold on. Ah, there you go. You see it? It's just falling off. And then if I do it the other way, it's just falling off that way.
Sand clocks.
Yeah. It's time for fika, is what it's telling us. Inside is kind of like a mochi feeling type item, but it says yomogi, and we think that's like mugwort, and I don't even know what that is. So this is just weird. That's all that I can really label this as. And there was a black one as well. I went with the green one because I thought green added to the weirdness for me. Maybe black would have been weird for other people, and I'm not sure how to open this. It does not have an easy open. Like,
I don't know if you should open that in the car. It's gonna explode and there's gonna be powder everywhere.
You know what? Somebody else be vacuuming this shit. And they'd be like, oh, they got the mugwort. Great. Because everybody knows the disaster this will leave. Okay, we're in.
Don't breathe.
All right,
You
I'm gonna
sneeze or something. Look at that powder! It's all exploding out like a volcano.
Okay, here we go.
Is it powdered sugar?
Tastes more like flour. It's sweet flour. Like, it's good. It's like mochi with like flavor. Like, sometimes mochi just tastes like squish. This has something in it. It's like when you put mochi and anko together, that's what they're giving you, that flavor. But the mochi there's nothing there. They've squished the flavor into the mochi.
And the powder is seriously not sugar.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
But it's not as intense as powdered sugar would be.
Huh.
It's got like a flouriness to it.
Huh.
And I guess it's more just an edible flour than a cooking flour.
For all we know, mugwort is a flower.
We know nothing.
I'm standing on the edge of this strait that's between these two islands, and you can see the big red bridge behind me, and the island with the church that we were just at is over here behind me here, and this is the island we were staying on and we've been spending time on. And the strait between the two is really narrow, and the waters are super rough apparently year-round. So they have a lot of shipwrecks and stuff that have happened over the hundreds of years that the people have been living in these areas. And one of them was notable was in the 1300s, a ship wrecked, and it had a princess on it who was pregnant at the time. And when the ship went down, she went down, and of course her unborn baby went down as well. And they ended up naming the strait after that incident. So the modern day name for the strait is related to this girl that died like hundreds and hundreds of years ago because of the rough waters that are still happening, that are happening right now in front of me.
We're doing our church stamp rally. We're at Church Juyon, number 14, and we just walked up, came to the door, took our shoes off, because you got to take your shoes off to come into the churches, and the door was just unlocked, and you can walk right in. We're looking for our stamp, but I don't really know where to look, and I don't really know where I'm allowed to look, and I feel like it would be right by the door if it was gonna be here, and right by the door is nothing like that.
It's like they've got the book for you to sign.
And we signed.
So their stamp is getting stamped, but our stamp is not.
I think we got fooled. We got bamboozled.
It is now the second day of the year, which is the year before the 2020 Tokyo Olympic and Paralympic Games.
Yes.
That's what we're referring to it as all year. We're going to have to stick with this.
I already wrote it on some forms. It takes time.
And this is actually also our last day, not only on the Goto Island chain and on Nakadori-jima, yeah, the island that we're on, and also the last day that we're going to be hanging out in the Nagasaki Prefecture. And we are going to just spend it doing transport basically all day because we're going down to Kagoshima where we're going to start shooting some more stuff about Kyushu in a different prefecture. And I thought, like, do you have any like total thoughts of the last? We've been here for like 2 weeks, like in Nagasaki, so the Goto Islands and everything. Yeah.
It's way more expensive than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
but that just hit me in the face this morning.
Yeah, what drove up the price a bit is that there's not very many places to stay.
Yeah.
There aren't like a lot of hotels to choose from, so they can kind of just charge whatever they want. So it wasn't like ridiculously expensive, but
transport was surprisingly cheap.
Was it
like
renting
getting
the cars and stuff?
From Nagasaki? No, not cars.
Yeah. The car rental was a bit expensive too, but getting the boat over here and stuff was not that bad. Yeah, like we're going all the way back to Sasebo from here today, and it was 2,000 yen per person, which really, for Japan prices and ferries and stuff, is really not that horrible or anything. And jumping between islands was only a few hundred yen. Like it was like 500 yen per person or something.
Yeah, it was quite cheap.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
So ferries are cheap. The rental cars and the hotels are quite expensive.
And I would say we didn't get like the optimal time of year to check this out, because I think it would be a lot nicer in the spring, fall, summertime period, because you would get to go up these little hikes and stuff. There's lots of like stairs and stuff going up hills and going up to some shrines and things like that we just didn't do, because it's like cold. Sometimes it's rainy or it's going to rain soon, and the wind has been pretty strong basically the entire time we've been here. However, I think it was really cool to check out all of the little churches and stuff and see that different twist on Japan that we haven't seen anyplace else.
That's still kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Like,
and,
what?
Yeah, and it's fun to just drive around a little island and check out what a little island's got to offer. I wish that we had the opportunity to have tried some more food on this specific island, but because the new year came and everything closed, we were just like, okay, we're eating convenience store food, basically.
I'll be honest, like the things that I marked were, they weren't super specific to here, so I really don't think that anything was missed out on. I wanted to have Goto udon, but we had Goto udon on the first island, and I'm sure that each shop is different, but the general understanding of the dish probably remains the same throughout the Gotos. So I don't think we missed anything on food. But I had fun trying to figure out what's available for the new year. What can you do? And I think we did pretty good.
I guess in end, would I recommend coming here to people who are visiting Japan? I don't know if I would. I don't know.
Depends on how much time you have. Do you have 7 years?
Yeah, I don't.
If you have 7 years, I'd say
okay. It's a pretty little islands, and they're cool to see this type of like island life and stuff. And if you're interested in seeing that, and you're not hitting any other islands while you're in Japan, it might be worth checking out. But it's not like a super duper standout place. It's not bad by any means, but there's just not a lot of draw here aside from the church stuff.
Yeah, if you wanted to come to the islands, I would say that coming to, I don't know which one I'd pick, whether it would be Fukue or Nakajima-dori.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably do Fukue, because I feel like it's got a little more jazziness to it. It's got a little more grit, whereas this one just has a little bit more kind of nothing.
Nakadori-jima?
Nakadori-jima? Did I say it backwards?
You said it backwards.
Dang it, you messed me up.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? That kanji was in the wrong place.
I would recommend coming here for people who like beaches.
Oh yeah,
the beaches here are pretty spectacular.
Especially on Fukue. We said the water, Fukue. The color of the water and stuff is amazing. The beaches are like pretty nice sand and stuff. And I wonder if in the summertime people are out there swimming.
If you had a summery day, that would be great. So I would say but then trying to find a hotel that's near that might be difficult.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
And if you're a beach person or a Christian, take the challenge. If you're not, then I'd say go somewhere else.
Good summary. But if you're a beach-going Christian, you can't pass it up.
You're doubling up on your fun.
All right, we're going to Kagoshima.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll be there tonight.
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
What time is it now?
9 a.m.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
So we're on the boat, and I thought I'd just point out a little bit about what it's like to be on a boat in Japan, on a little ferry crossing in the middle of the day, because the boat left at, what, 10:50?
10:50, yeah.
So, and the boat ride ends at like 1:50 or something like that. It's only a couple of hours, so it's all in the afternoon. But in Japan, the way that this works is it's a room with a big open floor, with a bunch of big open floors, and everybody takes their shoes off to step up onto this little carpeted floor. And then, even though it's the middle of the afternoon on a Wednesday,
or sometimes when we leave at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, this happened at 4 p.m. on the other boat.
All of these odd times where people would normally be working or doing things, everyone is now sleeping.
Yeah, they take naps. They just immediately get on the boat, they eat all their snacks really fast, drink their drinks, and then take naps. So everybody is sleeping in the middle of the day.
They've all got blankets and they're sleeping. So boats are for sleeping.
And there is not like a area on the boat that has just normal chairs or whatever. The whole thing is these flat floors.
Everything is these flat floors.
Which is fine if it's not too crowded, but the boat that we took when we came over to the Goto Islands to begin with was super duper crowded because of the holiday. And literally I had to stand for the 4-ish hour ride that we had because everybody was just like sprawled out on the floor and it was taking up all the room there was.
I was looking for a place to sit and people would make eye contact with me, like laying on the ground, taking up what would seat 3 humans, and just they'd make eye contact with me and be like, well, you didn't find your lay down spot, but you're taking up a lot of room. We could all be sitting right now.
Today it's fine because it's like a moderate level of like.
It's a bigger boat.
Yeah, it's a bigger boat and it's a moderate level of people that are on the boat, so like we have a place that we can kind of relax on the floor here. But yeah, it's a weird little predicament that I don't know if this happens anywhere else. I've been on ferries all over the world and I can't think of any place else that has just got floor space that you just like everybody just immediately falls asleep on.
And everybody has been coached into this. It's like parents now are sleeping because their parents taught them to sleep and their parents before them taught them to sleep, and now you see the young children, they're watching them like, why are they sleeping?
And like little kids have come on here with like video games and stuff, and like if I was a kid with a video game and like a couple of hours to kill, I'd be like, yes, we're playing some video games. They put the video games away and they go to sleep. It's really just drilled in. And like when we were on the other boat coming here, there was like an entire sports team of like high school student basketball girls or something like that.
Yeah.
The whole team was laying on the floor sleeping, like
Little puppy pile.
yeah, just a little puppy pile of like this whole group of kids,
Yeah.
like teenagers. And like I don't know, I'm just thinking like if I was on a boat as a teenager, I'd be making a muck. You know what I mean? I'd be upstairs like outside, like
Doing stuff.
yeah, just being bad.
Seeing the sights, enjoying the boat ride. I have not stopped thinking about how this is possible.
It's a weird cultural quirk that
Yeah.
I have never seen replicated outside of Japan.
No. I'm getting sleepy.
I'm a little sleepy, yeah.
So we made it to this lighthouse, and the view is pretty amazing. Like little islands, and the White House, it's the White House. Damn it.
およそ300メートル先、斜め左方向です。
You got anything?
Top of the muffin to you.
Top of the muffin to you. That's our good morning thing. It is now the morning, and it is the second day of the
Nakadori Jima.
No, I was gonna say the year. What's the year? How do you say it?
It is the year before the 2020 Tokyo and Empirical. Can we start it? This is how we vote in Kyushu. I did it. That was the last video from our Nagasaki series. Next up, we begin a series about another prefecture in Kyushu, Kagoshima. Make sure to help us by liking, subscribing, and commenting. If you want to help us even more, check out the links below for Patreon.